delito están. Como te iba a hacer petustan. Luego se vuelve a pastaman. I never see before multa.
To find out the real truth and what's under there, because nobody really knows yet what's under there. It's a hearsay, people hearing this. Because it could be anything like they say, but to actually find the real truth of it would be nice.
There was an elder that used to come, he lived in Hobima, name of Wolf. He was a Métis. And he worked on that boat, on that steamboat. He told, they were hauling stuff to Edmonton. I guess there used to be a port over there, or a fort or something. And then this is where they used to stop. And that's where he seen those people unload those stuff, whatever they were talking about. And he wasn't sure, but they unload a lot of stuff there.
From what we know from the research presented to us so far is that the steamship was en route from Fort Battleford to Fort Pitt, and when the rifles were loaded onto the ship, it loaded down the steamship. So they got stuck here apparently at this location, and that's where the powers and authorities at the time thought best thing to do to make room for wood, the firewood they needed to provide steam, etc. for the steamship. It was the obvious choice apparently to just get rid of the guns, as they're obviously a lot heavier than what would have been. So I understand there's a ton or two worth of metal, and that the wood would have been a lot lighter, so it made sense at the time to get rid of the guns. And possibly the evidence, who knows, maybe there's another ulterior motive. That the livelihood, the tools that were needed by our ancestors were actually taken from the people.
There's a possibility that we could recover one of these rifles, because what we've been doing, the Prairie Steamship Heritage Association has asked Stantec to facilitate the technical aspects of doing remote sensing to find evidence of these rifles, and we believe we have.
Those weapons have a home. They actually belonged to somebody and they were taken from them. So trying to rationalize, a wrong done then at several levels to where we are now, where we have a big open chunk of river and we're trying to pinpoint exactly where these weapons were discharged over the side of the ship is the next part of the story.
I think history has been wrong in a lot of ways in terms of documenting and writing books. And if somebody exaggerated or didn't tell the truth then, and then the next author uses that as reference material, the lie continues.
I support the idea that we should do this excavation, but we're going to need the help from government, the different levels of government, and from industry.
If the rifles are there, and they believe they are, I think they should be salvaged, and to reserve Native history and what happened in 1885 and that. And, to reserve any Native history, let alone Poundmaker. Yeah. And I really do hope they salvage it and we can have these things and our future generations can see it. And I think it would enrich a lot of souls.
you can only look backward so much. You got to look to the future, but the future is always better if it's informed by mistakes you made before that you corrected. And so that's kind of what I think we can do.
What's underneath the water is important. You know, that'll prove what our people went through. You know, they took the rifles away from them, not caring that they needed them to feed their families. So probably one of the reasons why they took those rifles was to starve them out.
According to our history and the stories that are passed on, the confiscation of arms, anything to do with defending yourself or for survival, it was to weaken the strength of the Indians with the planned attack that was going to take place in 1885.
Because a lot of those guns are belong to our elders back home, not just on the reserve, but probably around Battleford area. I would think so.
I think it's important to add another page to our history, our archives, the knowledge that we're aware of the Western European perspective. There's a lot written about the Northwest Resistance, very little about this actual location here. But I think I'm aware now, as of today and in previous discussions with our traditional knowledge keepers and our elders, that there are a lot of stories out there that haven't been revealed yet.
For me, I think they should go ahead and find out. Because just like residential school, they found out the truth, the history, and now it's in our history to tell.